Hey besties. I don't know why I want to make this video. I think part of it I was crying, and maybe I am crying still. And then also one thing that came to my mind is how much I like my voice after crying. It's a funny thing about me. I like my voice after I cry. I think the reason I wanted to make this video is that to normalize, you know. Human life has its good days and bad days. Sometimes we cry, sometimes we have the best day ever, right? And sometimes we're just in pain and grief. Sometimes we celebrate and all those things. Yeah, and for me, right now is one of those days where I just wanted to cry. And I took the time to literally just sit and cry. Because it's really important for us to process our emotions and not suppress it. That is the biggest lesson I have learned, and that lesson really have helped me a lot in my healing journey. Now you can see my nose hole. That's not what you want. I think one thing I want to share with you is it's okay if you're having a bad day, and it's okay if you have to cry. It's okay if you are struggling. I struggle, right? Nothing is always perfect. Yeah, I struggle sometimes at school, and then at the end I might get that 90 plus that I want, or maybe not. But it's okay. I think the struggle is part of the process. We have to struggle to get to where we want. You have to be okay with the struggle part. You have to be okay with the suffering. There's no happiness without suffering, right? Because we can't understand what it really feels like to be happy. There's no success without struggle. And actually I was thinking about it, because I have this huge goal I'm not gonna tell you, because I like to keep it in and surprise you with it. But I was like, how badly do I want it? And I was like, well, have you actually cried about it? It was like, no. Actually, it's like, oh, see, you don't want it that bad. If it hasn't made you feel pain or struggle, then you don't want it enough, right? And so that's why I was feeling really overwhelmed with myself. How much I want it, I want that, and how much sometimes it's really hard to balance everything in your life. And I know that balance is a myth a lot of the time, because not almost never, you can never get things balanced, like, aligned, like in a scale or a scale level kind of thing. You can never get it right. It's always up and down, it's always up and down. But the real skill about us is that we learn how to manage them, right? And we be the master and not chaos, to keep yourself grounded. And that's what the real mastery is, and that is what the real emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence and being the smartest person, the most successful person, and all these things, and master, it doesn't mean that you just always on the go. It doesn't mean that you never break down. It doesn't mean that you will never receive betrayal and all these things, right? Those are part of the process. Those are the most important lessons, more important than school, that we have to learn and go through them. So let's not deny it or neglect them, right? And so, like, literally, the reason I want to make this video, or want to make this video, just to really normalize it. As a person, I don't know how you guys perceive me or not. You might think that I'm very successful and very fortunate. Yeah, I'm very fortunate and I'm very grateful. But that does not undermine that as a human, I'm also struggling here. And I really hate it when on social media, like especially YouTubers and all these people, like, always want to show the fancy part of their life, the best part of their life, but never show how much they struggle, never want to share their pain. But my YouTube channel is not for that. If you don't like it, please leave the channel. This is to really, share what we are all going through, the dark behind the scene and the front of the scene, or the fancy part of the scene. But everything is a process, and that's why I want to share that. if you struggle, let yourself cry it out. Because especially people like me, after I cry, I just like get more powerful, you know? Because it's like I processed it now, I cleared it away. Now the distraction is gone, now I can focus better. Instead, if I just suppress it down, you know, the thing is like a spring keep coming up. It's like, hey, attention, attention, you know, it's like, so give yourself the time to cry about anything, you know, about anything you want to cry. And hug yourself, give yourself the love you need. Don't put, you know, unhealthy pressure on you, because sometimes that is my struggle. But that doesn't mean that I'll undermine your potential, right? A lot of the time I think we say like, oh, don't do too much. We encourage people, don't do too much. It's like, for example, if I like, let's say, cry in front of someone else, they would be like, oh, you know, if you struggle, take less courses, for example, right? But that's not, maybe that could be a suggestion, but the real idea is like we learn how to manage them if we know that we can manage it. But it's more like we're getting off a little bit off the balance. And instead of that, we have to really believe in each other, believe that we can manage it, believe that, or reflect on what are missing, how can we work through it, what can we do right now, you know, to solve it and moving forward. If you can't, if it's really like harming our health and stuff like that, that is when you really can't. But I'm not at that point. I just feel really overwhelmed just because there's always too much to do. There's always so much responsibility from everywhere. And I'm losing my shit now. I lost my shit now. I'm getting it back. Alright, you guys enjoy the video. Let me know next time when you cry. I love you all. Bye.